hands for bulky people, so thumbs to a furnace. Unimaginable, thought you ate, but the boys a cannibal. On a set, props from who you hand them to, but you gotta wait, cause now my hands is full animal. And this is a taste test, the one that don't fucking say less. Clean out a house, no trace left. Feeling like I jumped off the weight less. Got my chance, I don't waste it, face it. People couldn't see it, getting basic. Lace anxiety heavy, got me racing, pacing. But now I'm so fucking close to change, I taste it. This is a taste test, the one that don't fucking say less. Clean out a house, no trace left. Feeling like I jumped off the weight less. You ahead, now they chasing, hating. God only wanted with the grace and praise. Like go back to time, and take it, breaking. But I'm so fucking close to change, I taste it. When days was hard, I would pray to God. One hand make it stop, one hand bring it on. I'ma break the lock of my Genghis Khan, and I'll play the block till my game is won. Devouring all that's in front of me. So how the hell could you front on me? There's 1,000 beasts, but I'm the one to beat. Stronger than all, I'm a hunt for free. I was chefing, but not getting shit. Michelin star, but balance negative. I was tired of being delicate. So now I'm feasting with no etiquette. Trying hard with these recipes. Secret ingredients so the rest can see. Got away with murder, no rest of me. But you try to hurt this and you rest in peace. That's how shit go. Get it from the source, fuck the info. Let's get to the shits, don't you tiptoe. I'm the one who go ball, check the crystal. The energy entering makes me shine. The enemies envy me, they be dying. Fuck 'em, these suckers ain't taking mine. This just a sample, can't fake these lines. You a bitch.
That was really long. No cap. I like it.
That was a nice intro.
It was.
I liked it.
It was
Hey,
good.
I appreciate it, bro.
It was really good.
Shit, we're sitting in the very spot where it was recorded, so
Yeah.
we have to do
Memory lane.
it.
All right. Welcome back to episode 23, Link in Bio, the show that showcases Vegas culture, businesses, creatives, and small businesses in between. Today we had Jack,
Yes, sir.
one of the best rappers in Vegas.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Before we get started, you already know. I mean, maybe you don't. This is your first time being here?
Yeah, it's my
It
first
is. So go ahead and grab that. Look at this camera, and you're going to name the title.
time. Name the title.
Yeah.
Okay, the title of this episode is gonna be called "Sensing Change."
Nice,
Get into
nice.
that later.
That's pretty cool, man. Man, I don't know where to start. There's like so many questions I want to ask you. So how'd you get into it?
I think so. I always been in love with music. I feel like since a child, and then I think like a lot of the stories I tell is like I feel like I first fell in love with like probably like the image of artists, and like my favorite one like to start off was 50 Cent, because I feel like when you look at like 50 Cent in like 03, like that's like the closest thing I feel like mankind has ever had to like a superhero.
Oh, what's your
'Cause,
favorite
like,
track?
My favorite 50 Cent track ever. At the time, I'm going to say In the Club, just because that's like the one that was like playing all the time. And it's like, if you were, I was a fucking child knowing those words, and that's crazy. Like that shouldn't have happened. That's bad parental guidance. But that was literally like such an iconic song. And I feel like you look at 50, right? This man survived 9 gunshots. He literally was fucking tough. He had all the girls, he had all the cars, the jewelry, everything, and he was just like, he was like enamored with it. It was like, damn, this is kind of crazy. Like that's like one man can hold like that much power. So I think I fell in love with that. So that was like the first, like I kind of went through, I feel like the subgenres of like hip hop, and that's like, so the first one was like club stuff, and then like it became like radio stuff because I was like catchy, and that's like the first thing I had access to was just like whatever was playing on the radio. So it was just like it went from that to radio stuff, and then like a little bit older, it was like Lil Wayne was like my next favorite, and that was like lyrical stuff, because I was like in school, it's like a very stereotypical rapper story, but it was like it's pretty bad at every subject except for English, and it's like English I was always like had like a decent grade or something, and it was like, oh shit, so there's so many connections with how like lyrical rap and like English is literally just like how you can bend words and how you can do different stuff with phrases. So I think I fell in love with that at that point, so that really like kind of like boosted up like my love for it. And then after that was like a lot of like conscious stuff, like a lot of Kendrick, J. Cole. I feel like those are my next two like big favorites, big like influences on me, because they was like kind of getting to stuff that, you know, when I was younger, you kind of didn't see, I could never see myself as 50 Cent, because I'm never going to be the street dude, the toughest dude. So I was like, okay, I love rap, but I could never really do it. But then like when like 2011, that's like blog era, so that's when like, you know, a big Sean, Wale, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, like it's a lot more of like conscious rap, and like just people of like different cultures, different places kind of blowing up and kind of showing a different image. And I kind of saw myself in that a lot more. So I think that was around the time I started kind of like building a belief of like, okay, I really want to do this. And now it's like, oh, I actually can. Like there's actually people that are like able to like make different types of music and talk about different things. And I think like that's when it kind of like all came together. And like my love for music, like I tried everything. I tried to produce, I tried to play guitar, piano, everything. I had like, I just did not have like the musical sense at that point. And then I knew I was like really good at writing, but I never wanted to write like a book or journals or articles. So it's like, how do I take this love for music and this like ability to write and bring them together? And it was just like, okay, rap is like the perfect thing that brings those two together.
That's
so
pretty cool.
That's kind of like the story of how I got to that point.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, you're Oh shit! It was not did not see that one coming at all. Wow, so amazing. Damn. You make me nervous, bro.
You're good, bro.
And so those are your top influencers and that you really look up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, you start doing like any events out here?
I think I did like events. I wouldn't say later. So again, I kind of got into that mindset where I was at that point I was like rapping every day and writing every day, but I wouldn't like tell anybody because the perception, especially when you're a kid, like in high school, it's like it's tough.
Everyone thinks they
can
joking.
rap, and then it's like it's like no one's gonna believe in you and shit like that. So I think I was rapping every day and kind of just getting better and putting like my 10,000 hours in, but I wouldn't tell anybody. And then when I like graduated, when I turned like 18, that's when I was like, okay, I was like writing every day. I had so many songs. I was like putting out so much, and I was just like, fuck it. I was like, this is the time. I'm like a man now.
And then you just
I was like, I'll just do it. Yeah. So then that's when I put out like my first like mixtape or whatever when I was 18. So then like that first year, I really didn't do any events. So it was really just like online stuff. It's just like trying to put the music out, trying to like reach out to people and stuff. But then when I turned 19, then it was like another thing. Okay, like I've done like the basis. Now I have to go out, and it's the thing like with a lot of artists, you kind of get it's kind of like a nerve-wracking thing of like performing in front of like 7 people.
Yeah.
Like so a lot of people want to skip it. Like I was like, oh, let me just blow up, and I was like that too. Like full admit, like I want to do that. It's hard work, going out to 7 people. No one wants to hear you, and you want to like convince them to listen to you. It's a tough job.
Definitely, that's one of those like you have to do that.
You have to do it, bro. And it's like
that's the only way you get better.
Exactly.
And
the
people
people
who handle send it 7. You can't do a fucking show.
Exactly. And the people who skip are the ones who like fall off so quickly. Yeah. It's like if you get that one hit out of your bedroom and now you out rolling loud, like it's impossible to sustain at that level because you're gonna realize, oh shit, I don't know how to do this. So it's like I think once I kind of like got that in my head, it's like, yo, you're just gonna have to actually go out and do the work and just listen to just like all the artists. Like a lot of people say like stuff like that. You can't like skip the grind. You have to go out. You have to work on a song, put it out, and have 8 people listen. And it's like if you don't go through that, like it's going to be tough. Like you have to work your way through it. So I feel like by the time I got to 19, I was like, okay, now I'm kind of in that mindset. So that's when I started to go into events, doing open mics in the city, stuff like that. And I've just kind of been doing events since. So,
and then you do that rap battle too, huh?
Yeah, I do rap battling. That was my first time. So I did that beginning of this year. So shout out the gas station and shout out the cookout. But they actually started as the first event, which I actually saw both of y'all there. We all saw each other. But the first event was actually just like, it was just verses. You didn't even know who you're going up against. So it was kind of like more of a cipher. Like if you know the differences between ciphering and battling. Ciphering is no really aimed target. And you're just kind of like having fun, right? So it's like you kind of just had to bring verses like that. So it started off as that and then just kind of evolved into like actual battle rap where you know the person you're going against. And it went from like, this was supposed to be like, you're supposed to be 2 16s to the first one. And then the last one I did was like 3 rounds of 3 minutes, which is like over like 200 bars or somewhere in around that, right? So it's kind of developed a lot more. So it's definitely like another avenue for me to go in, and I'm happy I did it. I think a lot of people remember me for it now, and it helped me stand out a little bit. And I'm like lyricism is my first love, and it's like my go-to, my bread and butter of like what I love to do in hip hop. And so I think it's a great way to stand out like that. I do think I do want to focus on the music more. I feel like that's like the kind of the point I'm getting to. So it's like kind of being sporadic with the battles, and if I want to take a battle, I want it to kind of like be a big deal. Yeah. And like everyone come out and it's like, okay, this is like the one time he's battling. It's give me like a big opponent, give me a challenge, something major, and so we could really take it up like that. But I think I really do love battling. I love watching battling. I used to watch it, like super influential in like my style, and a lot of people said that too. Is like that I was watching battles when I was like learning how to rap, and that influenced all the ways I made music. So it was just like I'll just sit around for hours watching fucking Smack and King of the Dot. So it all became like a major influence on me.
And then after that, you got into making music. Sensei, tell me about that.
So once I got into making music, I think the first start, like my first project, it was actually just like, the very classic mixtape of what the old, which is other people's beats, and just like choosing your favorites and taking a different direction on that. So that was the first thing I did. And then I kind of put out some like original music in between that. But like I did that for years. And I do think like I've heard it from a lot of like the major artists. That's like a great way to hone your skills. You just like, you listen into instrumentals, you listen to like your favorite songs, and it's like, okay, now you have to try to get to that that point and okay, you rap over it, and how does that compare to the actual song?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was super influential in like, you know, kind of building my repertoire and stuff like that. So then I did that for my first project, and after that, you know, I really wanted to get into original music, which is a whole other challenge in itself, because I think there's a big difference between purely rapping and then like songwriting. Because if you want to do songwriting, like you got to be able to have there's got to be some catchiness, there's got to be a hook, there's got to be a concept, there's got to be a lot more
kind of
structure. Yeah, so it's like a lot of evolution in that, and you know, that was another, you know, hill I had to climb, and I had to get better with that. I was like, okay, I think I'm a really good rapper at that point, but it's like, okay, now I've got to be better at making music, making albums and songs, and having cohesion and focusing on those elements of the game. So I think that was the next transition, and I think I put a lot of focus into that. And you know, the thing about that one, it's definitely a lot harder. You know, you have to figure out producers to work with, you have to push your like pen to a different level. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go in and rap. I want to actually make a song about something or an emotion, or make people feel something. I don't want you to just hear like a ton of bars, and it's like you walked away and you didn't hear anything. It was just like, oh, just rapping for 3 minutes. So it's just like, I think the evolution of that is kind of where I evolved my songwriting and like my music making skills.
And who are your top like producers?
My top producers, well, right now, my best friend, his name's Nico. I met him last year, so we kind of locked in after that. So I was just, my music production, the first couple songs I did was just the ones online, or like, you know, on Instagram, people would hit you all the time. It was like, that was super early. I didn't know how many people were going to hit me. So like the first 2 people who hit me, I was like, oh, I instantly like made music with them. And obviously now it's like thousands of people hitting you. But like at that point, that was how I kind of met people. And then like, as far as like producers, especially in the city, like a big thing is just, you know, you meet people, and then it's like, oh, all these people know these people. Like a big factor in my last major project, which was Golden Boy, was Junction, the Junction Complex. They did a little bit of a beat auction, which was, I feel like it was really influential for me, because this was back 2019. But it was like, I met a bunch of producers there. Yeah. I got a beat from all of them, and all of them new producers, so I got a beat from them, and that's kind of how I kind of built my foundation in the city, and started to get in with some of those producers.
And then Jane was one who directed Golden Boy, right?
Yeah, Jaden did Don't Miss off of Golden Boy, and he also did Young Goat.
Young Goat, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. That just hit me. I helped you with him.
Yeah.
With that one.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
The gym? Exactly. That was the first.
Man.
That was the first time we met each other.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. I love helping others.
That was dope, because I knew you. I've known you for a while. I saw your videos. I saw your videos like Lurk and stuff, like from before. And then I finally met you on the set, and it was like, a real full circle moment at that point. Yeah.
Vegas is so small.
So small.
We're eventually going to meet.
Yeah.
Like, eventually.
Of course.
That is so fucking cool, man. And then, huh? Better? Oh, too far? My fault. I do. Super excited. Damn, I forgot where I left off that.
Vegas is small. And
Vegas is super small, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's a matter of time before you meet somebody.
Exactly, definitely.
If you're not going to meet now, you will meet later. Wow. And what's like the meaning behind your name?
So my name actually comes from my government name, which is Jagat. It's pronounced Jagat. It actually means universe in Sanskrit. And, you know, so a lot of my life, obviously, you know, living in Vegas, like, you know, people kind of shortened it, and I went down to Jag. So I kind of went by Jag for a while. And then I think once I kind of realized I wanted to rap, I was kind of going with like a couple different names. I was trying to figure out, okay, what sounds the best. And I was like, I kind of wanted just Jag, but then you hear a lot of stories about major artists, and you kind of need like an extension of yourself. Like, you don't want to be the artist all the time. Like, if you go home to your family, you have to switch it off. So I think that kind of influenced my mindset a little bit. So it was like, okay, how do I make it? But I also didn't like when people just kind of like choose like a random name. Like, I like it to have some connection to you. So I wanted something where it's not like a completely alter ego, or it's just like my government name. So it's like, what is something in the middle? So I took my government name and I broke it up. I actually got the idea. If you've ever seen the show Empire, there's a girl on that show, and her name is Frida Gatz. And I was like, I thought of using the name Gatz, because it was like, okay, what comes after Jag? It's Gatz, so it's Gat. So I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, that actually would sound fire. What if I just put Jag Gatz as my actual government name? It's split up into 2. If you read it on paper, it's Jagat, and phonetically, like when we were kindergarten, that's what kids would say Jagat, because that's what, if you're learning how to speak, that's how you're gonna phonetically say the word. So it was like, it was a connection to that. It was a connection to a lot of different things. You can make a million car flips, you can make a million gun flips, you can make a million animal flips. Yeah. So it was a perfect name. So kind of stuck with that. I like the way it doesn't necessarily roll off your tongue, and I kind of like it because it's like Jagat, and
you really got to think about it.
Yeah, everyone's got to think about it. You have to repeat it a couple times. I feel like it makes people like stick in their head a little bit. Jagat, yeah. Gotta say it a couple times. So That's kind of the story of how I got my name.
That is awesome. Where do you record your music at?
I record a lot of my music at home. That's what I've been doing up until probably this year is the first time I've been going to other like studios and stuff. I've been recording at Junction Sound. I've been recording over with Joel. He records at the IG The Label Studios. I've been recording literally wherever, like other people's home studios. I'll record, anywhere. Yeah, it's just being flexible. I think I definitely was a lot more like contained in doing it all myself, and I wanted to be like, oh, I'm gonna mix it, master, and do it all myself. And I think this year a big part of my evolution was kind of being more open to like, okay, let me work with other people, let me go out and do it. And it has taken a lot of load off of me, because it's like at the end of the day, I just want to rap, I just want to make music. I don't want to do that part, and I'm never going to be as good as the people who are putting their full time into it. Like no one who's never going to be as good as me rapping if you're not putting your full time into it. So how can I expect me to be the same?
At least you can understand like the basics. So you can communicate with them. So that's a pretty cool plus side.
Yeah. So that was
because if you can't do it, then you might as well just pay someone else to do it, or like, hey, this is what you do. Let's collab.
Exactly.
Help me help you, because it's a win-win.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone's winning. So that's been a big part of the growth.
Yeah. You got any more projects coming up?
Yep. So actually, that's the perfect time. I'm in album mode right now, and it's so I got a project coming at the end of the year. So I think end of the year, a lot of the music marketing gurus, a lot of the music industry people will tell you the end of the year is usually like the worst time to release music, right? Because for one, Christmas music and holiday music is the main string thing. It's Mariah Carey coming out of her grave to pull the greatest song.
The world with her music on repeat.
Pull out the greatest Christmas song of all time, but that's usually the theme. So it's like that's usually the theme, and there's the industry shutdown. A lot of people go home to their families. A lot of people, you're talking like blogs and stuff, a lot of people aren't like usually working throughout the holiday time. I personally, like, that's what happened with Golden Boy. I mean, there's two sides to it. I mean, one side, I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, kind of got to the end of the year, but I like to be a man of my word. If I say it's going to come out that year, I really want it to come out that year. I think looking back, I like to see, okay, it came out in this year and it was a part of this life, and then like the next year it's its own thing. So I think that's a big part of it. And second, it's like, I like that, obviously for me, I have more holidays, I have more time to work on it. And it's like, that's the time where you really get prepared for the new year. And I feel like I like to make, inspiring, motivational music and stuff like that. And that's usually the theme of a lot of my music. So I like it to kind of be the first thing you hear into the new year. I like my rollout going into the new year and stuff like that. So that was the goal. So I think with this one, again, like the rollout it came out a little bit different, but I was trying to break it up, Okay, so personally, I like albums. I like listening like top to bottom. Like that is my favorite way. Like I don't want to hear a single. I want to hear the album completely full. But like, and it's kind of like just a cold fact. Like people don't have those attention spans nowadays. It's like, unless you're like my friend or like someone who like really loves my music, the chance of you like picking up and listening to me for 40 minutes is very low. So it's
you're
like,
not like a freaking T.I.
That
thing on repeat.
Exactly. So then it's got to be like, you got to kind of get people into their heads. So I did a couple singles. I did 4 singles this year. So hopefully, that kind of garnered the attention. The one we did, Taste Test, to garner the attention to do the full project towards the end of the year. So, I'm in that mode. So I'm excited to do the podcast. Got to do some videos. Got to do some more marketing stuff on my side. I want to do some like interviews with myself. I like doing this.
Oh, what's like the marketing aspect are you going?
I think like a lot. I like making it like movie style. I feel like how I always look at albums and projects is like it's a movie, and then like your singles are supposed to be like your trailers. So that's why like I got that from a album. I'm missing it right now, but like literally they say you shouldn't shoot the trailer until you know the full movie, right? Because like what are you gonna do? Like the movie could change. There's so many things, so you have to have the full movie scripted out. So I have the full movie scripted out. I had it out for a while, so now it's just like, okay, let's get it into what it means. So for me, the album, I actually talked to Rex about it when I came in to shoot Taste Test. It's called Sensing Change. So that's why we named the episode after it. But Sensing Change is I kind of a feeling, and I start off as an artist, but as I talk to more people and tell more people about it, I see how much it can apply to other things. But it's like, so when you first start out doing whatever you're doing, photography, videography, rapping, you're going to go through the first stage, which is going to be like doubt. Like people are going to be like, okay, what are you doing? Like, how good are you? How much do you love it? How much effort are you going to put into it? And once you kind of get past that wall, people will start to like it. They'll be kind of impressed. Wow, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And you kind of have this novelty feeling. And for the emotion of progress, a lot of people are always going to say, oh, you just got to do better than yesterday, right? You just got to make another step, just kind of be better than yesterday. But I feel like with like kind of creativity in a general sense, it's different from business, right? Because I think business, okay, you have product sales, it's very tangible.
Yeah, you got to like reach a certain quality to make some profit.
Yeah, and then like you kind of always, if you're a successful business, you kind of always build on that. But I think with creativity and artists, it's a little bit different, because once you get past that first like novelty stage of people, oh, you're new, oh, it's your first song, first music video, first performance, it's a lot of your first, and people are excited, you're going to get to this a little bit of a lull where it's like, okay, now what's next? Yeah, they already know you, so you don't have that like spark anymore. So it's like I could be making better music than I did before. I could be doing more shows. I could be putting in more work, but I could literally be having less results because it's not new anymore. You're not shiny anymore. Yeah. So you're kind of stuck in this like this feeling of like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Even though you could do literally everything right, but just people were just so used to the novelty of when you first started. So it was like that kind of became like my emotion, and that's kind of how I was feeling. So I was like, oh, I'm doing better music videos, I'm a better performer, doing better shows, I'm better at rapping. But it's like I feel like I'm not matching what I did like at my first video. Like I feel like that went like a lot better than anything I'm doing. I have 10 videos now, but it's like none of them are doing the same thing. But it's like I feel like again, it's just like that's like kind of the stage, and it's like you kind of get that feeling of like, okay, things are gonna change. Like I still haven't done like a big show, I still haven't done like a festival. There's still like a lot of firsts. I still haven't gone gold or platinum or like been on the charts. There's still a lot of firsts I have left, and you're kind of like in this middle stage where you've done all the firsts you can at the moment, but you kind of feel that feeling like, okay, stuff is gonna change. I'm sensing the change. Like, okay, now I'm gonna be bigger. I'm gonna do even bigger music videos. If you take photos, you're going to take photos of even better people, or even like, you know, increase your prices, anything like that. You're kind of feeling that moment of stuff about to shift. So I feel like that I really like saying that albums are like they're timestamps, they're earmarks of where you are in your life, and that's where I am in my life. I'm like, I've set a good foundation. I've kind of done a lot of the things like a kid in me just like wanted to do, have cover art and music videos and stuff, and I've accomplished it. So now it's like I'm feeling like, okay, if I just push this extra bit, I'm feeling like stuff is going to change. So I hope, you know, with this rollout, with this album and like the new music I got coming, you know, the change is going to come.
Exactly. Baby steps to success.
Exactly.
Man.
Definitely.
As long as, because you got to think about it, it's the long game.
Exactly.
It's if you really want to make it.
Exactly.
It's a long game. You're going to go up, down, through it, side to side. You're going to hate it some days, and other days you're going to love it.
Of course. And I think that's what separates, you know, the pretenders from contenders. Like a lot of people can't take it, and that's perfectly fine. Like it gets tough to do it all the time, you know? It gets tough to like, you know, put out music and like no one listening. Like that gets tough to go to a show and like perform in front of 8 people that do not want to listen to you. Yeah. And like if the people are gonna get tired, it gets to me sometimes too. It's like, damn, like I'm putting out music and I feel like no one's listening. I feel like I'm not getting the opportunities that this person is doing, where I feel like they've not as good as me, not working as much as me, not put out as much as me. And you know, you just gotta like, you know, baby steps. You gotta take it, and you gotta be like, okay, I'm just gonna work harder. I'm just gonna be better. I'm just gonna keep staying on my path to like build on everything I've done and everything I'm going to do, and just, you know, kind of outwork, and just that, you know, the people who succeed are just who don't quit. I mean, that's like the go-to saying, but it's like, it's just about staying on that path and constantly working.
That's awesome. Super fucking sick about that, dude. It's amazing. Do you have any like advice for upcoming artists that want to become a rapper?
I think I have a lot of advice. I think like I can feel like the situation you get, especially at this point, is like, when, again, with the sensing change thing, right? So I'm past a certain level, so I can tell people like certain advice about how to get to this level, but I don't have it all figured out, of course, right? So it's like you're not looking at like a 10-year vet, like who has, okay, he has certain accomplishments, so he can tell you certain things. So it's like I think it's a plus and minus, because like, shit, I could be saying a bunch of shit that does not work for you, and it doesn't even work for me, and I had to change my direction. But I think a lot of it is one, staying true to like what you love. And it's like, I know a lot of people who start with rapping, it's a common thing, start with rapping and change to something else because you might just love it more. And I feel like a lot of people get caught in, okay, no, rap is like the front man, rap is the stardom, rap is the money, it's the fame, it's whatever. So I want that more than, okay, if you're a videographer, you could get all that. You could be 10 times richer than you ever were going to be as a rapper, because that was what you actually loved. You actually had fun sitting down for 8 hours in front of a computer editing, instead of like sitting around listening to beats and rapping. You just found that path, and that was more fun and more lucrative for you. So then it's really about knowing what you love and how much you love it. And, you know, like a lot of what we said is what decides, like, can you actually just like sit down? If you put out the music and no one loved it, would you still be doing it? Like if you were going in your room and you write every day, and it's not a chore to you, like sometimes it's going to be hard, of course, but it's like you actually get joy from the writing of the music, and not like, oh, the selling of the music, like, oh, people think I'm great, now I feel good. But like, no, I feel amazing anytime I write, and it's like, oh shit, I'm reading it and I'm hearing it in my headphones, like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy. That's like the best adrenaline rush. That is the number one reason why I make music. I write it and I feel like, holy shit, like I can't believe I just wrote that. Like I can't believe I created this. I heard a beat and I had an idea and I put it together and it sounded crazy. So I feel like that is just like, you know, knowing what you love, not listening to people like kind of outside of your circle, outside of your mind state. You know, people can always, you know, knock you off. You know, someone's just not going to understand what you're doing, not going to like the type of shit you like. And it's like, at the end of the day, everything is for somebody. Like, you know, I usually hate, like, I'll sometimes say, but I very rarely say a music is trash. I think it's only trash if there's like qualitative, like there's something like off, right? But it's like if there's just like good and I don't like it, it's just not for me, and that's perfectly okay because it's for someone else. It's gonna make someone else happy. I hate the idea of like, oh, something is trash. Like if something makes someone else happy, it's like it's just not for you. Like you could just literally like something else, move on. And so it's like I think a lot of like kind of staying true to yourself, staying true with to what you love, just being a good person. A lot of people have egos. A lot of people not the best people. A lot of people get a little bit too self-conceited. Just don't treat people with like respect. I feel like that's like just a key. That's a key thing in life. But I think definitely in this industry, you feel a lot of like fake people. It's like it throws me off, bro. Because I'm always gonna show everyone respect. I'm always gonna go up to like try to support every single person I can. And it's like
1,000.
And it's like sometimes some people aren't gonna do it. Sometimes people are gonna be think a little too cocky of yourself and like have different approaches to how they treat people. But I always say, you got to treat people how you want to be treated and just be genuine. And I feel like, you stay good at what you do. You work hard, true to yourself, not listen to other people.
You put in the work too. You went out your way just to be on here.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Like I love it. Like I want to support my guys. Like I told you, like even before you started, like I was super excited. Like I want to do podcast shit. Like I've told Rex every single time I love everything he does because he's like he does so much shit. Like I want to do like, and it's like it like inspires me. Like this man can write articles. This man can do a late night show. He can fucking direct. He can shoot videos. It's like oh my god, look at this guy, bro. Yeah. I love this guy, bro. So cool, he's so inspiring. But it's like, and it's like some people just hold it in, bro. I just love saying it, bro. Like I fuck with you. You make great videos, bro.
Appreciate it,
you take great photos. We made some great shit together. I love everything you do. And I just like saying it, bro. People like holding it in. They're like, oh, how's this gonna make me look? I don't give a fuck, bro. If you doing dope shit, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like that's just like the point of life. The point of life is to help other people out. That is literally like why I feel like everyone's put on this earth. I feel like putting out music, hopefully in the long term, is gonna inspire someone, and I'm helping someone else. It's gonna help someone feel this emotion, that emotion, this emotion.
You're gonna get that tweet, hey man, because of you, I'm in a great position.
Exactly. And that's the goal. That's the goal with everything.
Man, thank you.
Can we talk about taste test?
Oh yes, of course, man. Tell me a little bit about taste test.
Test.
Why taste test?
So taste test,
the concept behind it.
The taste test it's funny. So it really connects into the project I got coming out. So it's Sensing Change. So the full story of the project is after I finished my last project, Golden Boy, obviously I had leftover music or I had other music I wanted to get out. And then I had these two songs that are both on the project, but they were called Be the Sound and it's called Can't Touch Us. And I was just like sound, touch. It was just like a fun little thing. Okay, I'll do On Site next. And then I'll do Smell of Success. And then I'll do Taste Test. And it's like, all this sound, all the senses. I'll just like, it'll be like a cool thing. I won't really talk about it, but it'll just be on the track list. You saw, that's cool. And then like kind of move on. But then as it kind of evolved, I was like, why don't I go deeper? And it's like I had that feeling, and it's like I'm feeling it in every way. I feel like stuff is about to change, and I can see it, I can smell it, I can hear it, and it's like, okay, let me dive deeper into it. So it kind of had like, it was just gonna be. I feel like there's a big difference between albums and mixtapes, right? I think mixtapes is just like just having fun, it's a collection of songs. Album has to be cohesive, have a concept, everything has to make sense. So it's like it was gonna be a mixtape because I already did an album like thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a mixtape. It was like kind of like this idea of like kind of focusing on the senses, like that would be great. So it's like the final project is 10 songs, so it's each of the 5 songs and they're all like paired with another song. So it's 2 songs about sight, 2 songs about taste, like stuff like that. So it's like, so I was getting into that. So I just had the word taste test. I was like, what can I do taste? Like taste. So it was like taste test. That's a good idea. So I was thinking of something I like to do, and again, my partner Nico, he always sends me beats all the time. And I was thinking, okay, with taste test, it's like what I immediately comes to mind, like emotions wise. Taste test is like when you have a taste test, you're tasting different stuff, right? It's like, okay, what's the best part of this, best part of this? So it's like in that song, as you can hear, it's like it's super aggressive, and then it gets like to this calm, like choir part, and super aggressive, calm to the choir part. And I was like, okay, that sounds perfect. So what about I take that, I go into taste test, and then let's again like just, and this is just like stuff for me because I love it. Like let's develop it out. Let me like add some bars about cooking. Let me like, but like not in a corny way. Let me actually connect it to that feeling. Okay, I feel like I can taste success right now. I could taste stuff about to change. I'm at that point, and it's gonna end up being the outro track. And I feel like, okay, that's perfect because it's like it has that like dominant feeling of like, okay, I told you all the reasons I feel like stuff is gonna have to change, and now I'm gonna put like my stamp on it. Okay, stuff is about to change, and then that's kind of like the content, the concept around it. So we kind of got that, and then once it was time to do a video, I was just like, bro, let me just like do some shit in the kitchen. Let me get like a chef outfit. Kind of go into that.
Fake mashed potatoes.
Fucking cook some gravy on the pot. So I feel like it was like it's just a dope idea, and like I've gotten a lot of praise on that video, and a lot of people just like it stands out, bro. Like a lot of people are too tough, too cool to like dress up as a chef. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like it's fun to me. Like it's like I created like an idea, and like shit. I used to work in the back of kitchens for like years, bro. Like washing dishes, fucking making pizzas, doing whatever the fuck, and it's like it's homage to that. Like all those years I spent, I always had like one earphone in my fucking ears, just like going at it, just putting the work in. So it's like it was really full circle with a lot of that. So that's a song I'm really proud of. I feel like I took it to like a dope level with that. I feel like we made a great fucking video with that.
Thank you so much for helping me out.
Of course, bro.
88
of
music
course,
video.
yeah, that'll be fire.
Dude, you're a fucking actor.
Of course, I appreciate it.
That shit was so fucking cool.
I appreciate it.
What happened with that?
So 88 Nate reached out to me for a music video. He needed a couple crew members. Long story short, it's about crypto, and then he steals the guy's money to cash it into Bitcoin. I reached out to Jag, Gabsy, Izzy to help me out with it, and they all rolled through. In exchange for that, like, dude, I got you on a music video to help me with this project. And one of the scenes, he has to pretend he's the bad guy. He has to go over there to 88's Nate, check him, grab the money from him, and then walk it back and give it to Izzy. And it was so simple. It was so easy. It was fun. If you want to see it, the link's right here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fire.
it was fun. Rich off Bitcoin, I think.
Is it out?
I think.
That's why
That's the one with the trunk, right? Gab was in the
Yeah,
trunk.
was that? Did he put that one out yet?
I don't think so.
I feel like
That's Bitcoin, right? No. I don't think he did yet.
Well, first before that, we did the one.
No,
where
before that one, it was 88 Nate.
Something 4.
Had an anime name.
Satoshi 4.
Yeah, that one.
You in that one too?
Yeah, I was in that one. That was the first one.
He played an employee of like what, accountant.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like
Wolf of Wall
it was
Street
supposed to
thing.
like 88 Nate was like the
Forex type of thing.
the head honcho,
Yeah.
head honcho, and I was kind of like doing a skit. So it was like, yeah, I just had a lot of fun with that. And like I didn't even know about the music video. I was just coming through to show love and just kind of be a part. And just kind of again like it's showing love and just like the business side. Like I wanted like just show out. Just add stuff to the resume. Doing like a fucking. They wanted me to do a scene in a movie next week, so I'm shooting that. So getting my acting chops up a little bit. So that's fun. So yeah, so just like that first one. That first one was crazy because it was just fun. Like I never got to be an extra in like other people's videos.
Yeah.
And also like I know the struggle of doing videos and not having people come.
Yeah.
Bro. It's hard to get people. Like you think like, bro, everyone be excited, like, because you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be like the greatest ever. So it's like if you be a part of this video, you're a part of history.
Yeah.
So you have that mindset. But a lot of people are just like, I don't really care. So it's
I gotta
like
go to work.
exactly. So I always, you never know what Gabsy's gonna do, what 88 is gonna do. And I was in a music video with that. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
I was in one of like the first like music videos you shot like with 88 Nate. So it was like it's always like a. That was a funny ass video, bro.
That shit was cool.
So I always love being a part and handing that.
Yeah. I tried to do a cool little After Effects, but it didn't come out right. But it was workable.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that was a fun.
It was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that desk. Oh, that was a fucking mission.
Oh yeah, trying to get that desk in that room.
Yeah, I had to ask for fucking help. That shit was so heavy. I didn't even have a truck, so I had to reach out to Ben and use his van to pick it up.
That was crazy.
And then we are bringing it over there. Look at that.
You gotta have an artist help
Yup.
you out.
Yeah,
Yo.
bro.
That shit was fun. So much fun, man. Thank you so much for being on the show, my guy.
Of course,
I
bro.
appreciate everything
it.
you've done.
Thank
If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like it, subscribe it, share with a friend. All links are in the description down below. Any shout outs you want to do?
Shout out to everyone I've worked with. Shout out to all the directors I've worked with, Sir CJ, and shout out to all the producers I've worked with. Shout out to the city. Shout out to Vegas. I had to rep when I came up on here, show some love. Shout out to everyone who's ever supported me, everyone rocking with me, everyone who took the time to check out this podcast with me, Cersei and Rex. I feel like it's been a great time. I had a lot of fun. Check out my new project that should be out by the time you're watching this, called Sensing Change. Get a little bit more about the insight behind the project, and check me out. Let me know what you think, and much love.
Yeah. Nice. That was good.
That was fun.
That was a rusty start, but we did it.
We got through it.